There are a lot of things that can go wrong when mixing concrete.
Are you serious?
But I'll give you the long and short of it. Cement is the binder for all the aggregates involved in the mixture that gives it the strength. But cement is not the strength of the concrete. Now, the strength is in the aggregates. In fact, the large aggregates. If you are talking about a conventional concrete, is the granite, the fine aggregates, and the cement alongside water that makes that concrete. The strongest thing that matters the most is the aggregates. That is the stone. This concrete can never be stronger than the stone in that concrete. One next that matters is the binder. That binder is the gum. Imagine you are trying to crack something. You either crack it at the item itself, which is the aggregate, or in the bonding between aggregates. So if the bonding between aggregates is weak, that means between stone and sand, between stone and stone inside that concrete is weak, then it's not going to be enough. It is going to fail at the seam. It's just like when you sew clothes together. It can either, if you try to tear the cloth, you either tear the cloth itself or you tear the seam in between joining of the materials. That seam is what cement does. Another thing that can go wrong is water ratio. If you put too much water in the concrete, you weakened the cement. Because what that water does is weaken the binder or strengthen the binder. The water, in fact, is only for the cement. It's not for anything else. So, as I mentioned before, things that can go wrong is if the aggregate you are using is poor. For example, instead of you using sharp sand, you are using clay. You are going to get bad results. Instead of using stone, you are using something softer. You are going to get bad results. Now, that is on aggregates. On the binder itself, which is the cement, if you overwater the binder, you get bad results. If you use a binder that is not strong enough, the concrete fails at the seams. So when I talk about poor and rich mix in concrete, it's really dependent on the aggregates, the ratio of the aggregates, the binder, and the water. So too much stone with not enough sand, you have spaces in your concrete because stone cannot fill up the entire space. Too much sand and not enough stone, and you are having a concrete that is not strong because the strength is now reliant on the sand and the binder, which is never as strong as the granite itself. Too much water and you weaken the binder. Not enough water and you don't allow enough mix. So for example, if you are supposed to use one bag of cement for 200 kg of aggregate, you are using one bag to 500 kg. Definitely the binder is not strong enough and you have problems. So the long and short of it is a good enough aggregate and good ratio, a good enough binder and good ratio, and good enough water and good ratio. That's it. If you do that, you get spectacular results. I've been Fola Jomi. See you on the next one.